Hi, my name is Kaveri. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an academic. I teach in a university nearby. I live in Mumbai these days since June. Prior to this, I lived in Haryana where I had a small patch of garden and I was growing my own vegetables. And I started this channel to sort of share some of my experiments growing my own food, but also trying to live a little more ecologically and environmentally sustainable life. Since June, we are now living in an apartment with tiny little balconies. I have about three balconies here that receive a good amount of light, and so I've started a small balcony garden. The last time I posted, it was in mid September, and you could see these tiny little seedlings popping out. And I just wanted to do an update and show you just how much you can do in just a little more than a month. Um, so, first of all, here is one example. I mean, one thing that I will be harvesting. This is basil. There's also a tomato plant here along with the basil, but the basil is already ready to harvest, as you can see. I think I started my garden setup sometime in the end of August. I visited the first nursery, picked up a few chili plants, picked up some soil, picked up some gardening stuff. And so you can say it's been a little over 2 months now since I've started setting up the place. I'm going to show you and tell me what you think. Of course, the best growing plant is the basil. You can see there's a good patch here. I'm going to take you to my other balcony as well to show you the basil over there. This is a pot in which I had started the saplings. You can see I've been removing the saplings from this pot to make more place and then replanting them in other pots. You can see there's a lot of basil here all ready to be harvested. I think by next week I should harvest before they start flowering, because once it starts flowering then it will start seeding. You can see more basil over here as well as there. This here I planted some arugula and also some red chili saplings. I have replanted some of these red chili saplings into another pot, but the arugula is still struggling. These are from seeds from my earlier garden. You can take a look at my earlier video and see how the arugula grew so well, but of course it's a different weather over there. Sonipat in the cold, it grows very well. Here the only thing that seems to be doing pretty well right now is the basil. The tomato is growing tall and nice, but I have to wait probably for more heat for the tomatoes to grow. So the other plant that is producing really well is the chilies right in that corner, and I'm going to take you there and show you how they're doing. This balcony is actually a balcony in which I also dry my clothes, so you can see the clothes drying right on top. It's very minimal sun, but guess what? I'm already harvesting chilies. So chilies are supposed to actually need a lot more sun, but I have a lot of chilies popping out of this. So you can take a look. There's another one hanging here. A lot more younger ones. One more here. So lots of chilies growing in these tiny pots, and you can look at these pots are just 10-inch pots. I'm assuming this is all the wonderful compost. There are actually three chili plants in each pot, and they're all doing pretty well, very healthy. The plant that is doing really very well is this broad beans plant. We call it Samefully here in India. It was growing in a really tiny sapling pot. It was growing in like a 2 or 3 centimeter pot, and you can see it's already produced some beans. So I think This is great, and interestingly, I didn't even buy these seeds. I had gone to the vegetable market with a friend, and there were some overripe sinfully over there, which were mature, and I picked them up and just popped them into a pot, and this has grown pretty well now. I had picked up these turmeric plants and the curry leaf plants, which are all doing pretty well. You can see the curry leaves are coming out here already. Of course, there are other saplings here, more arugula saplings, but the curry leaves and the turmeric is doing very well. So you can see in just a little over 2 months, the garden is already producing stuff. We've been using the chilies, and of course, the basil is going to be soon harvested. A lot of you might be wondering, oh God, so much work. You need to buy the pots, you need to get the soil, the coco peat ready, the compost. You need to mix all of this stuff. You have to water it regularly. You have to sow the seeds in time. So all of this takes time. So I think there are two ways of thinking about this. One way to think is it really worth it? Because it's 2 months of, even if it means 15 to 20 minutes of watering every day, it's 2 months of time that I'm spending to get what a bunch of basil, which I could go to Big Basket and click and get it in 15 or 20 minutes with a fast delivery app. Why would you go through all of this for this? So much time, so much patience, so much waiting. The other way to think about it is what would I have done with that time if not for this? Would that time have been spent fruitfully done doing something that could have been more productive or more useful for me, which could have also given me the amount of joy that gardening gives me? I honestly don't think so, because I was just thinking that I must have spent, in all, including the nursery visits, I must have spent 5 or 6 days doing all of this, buying the pots, mixing the soil, getting things ready for the garden, sowing the seeds, watering it, all of that. And if I think about it, what would I have done with that time if I had not gardened? I think I would have spent more time watching television. I already watch a lot of Netflix now. Sometimes in the evenings I'm tired, and so I kick back and I'm watching some series or the other. So is it worth it? In the second sense, I would think yes. Why not? If you're getting joy doing this, and you do it on a regular basis, as you water and see the plants grow on a regular basis, it gives you so much more joy because you're actively doing something. The reward of doing that is much greater than passively watching Netflix, which honestly doesn't give you as much joy or satisfaction. So, in terms of the benefits, I think the benefits are much, much, much greater to be engaged in doing something like this on a regular basis, and therefore reduce so much of the screen time that we are otherwise used to. And at the end of it, we get to eat some really, really yummy basil. And believe me, the basil that you buy, or the herbs, or the greens, or the vegetables that you buy online on your in your markets are just not going to taste even half as good as the stuff that you grow at home. First, because it's so fresh. Second, and more importantly, because they haven't been sprayed with so much pesticides and fertilizers and chemicals, because they've naturally grown, and you have sort of tended to them and care to them. So there's a lot of love also that has gone into the plant. It's going to taste so much more better. and you feel a lot more connected with the soil, with the earth, and with with your environment around you when you do something like this. So you can think that this is a waste of time, or you can think that this is the best way to spend your leisure time. It's up to you. Tell me what you think in the comment box. Is it really worth it? 7 6 7 days of work to get a bunch of basil? Let me know in the comment box.